Oh! You're not Preston.
No, I'm not.
Preston let me know that he is with family still, doing some fun stuff in FanX, the Salt Lake Comic Convention going on right now. He took his kids up there today.
He left us high and dry.
So instead, we are going to be doing a paint stream tonight.
Sure.
So I'm Cory. That's Scott.
Yep.
You know us.
Very unplanned. Sorry about this.
But, so anybody expecting art, you're getting painting instead, which is just a different type of art. Let's be fair here. But welcome everybody to the stream tonight. I am excited to be here. Or are you still working on the worm?
Yeah, I'm going to finish up the worm.
Okay, because I have something that I want you to paint tonight, too.
Ooh, okay.
Something from Aneria's past, or not Aneria's past, but the player's past. I guess it's past by now. But, yeah.
Sure.
So, yeah. Awesome blossom. I have no idea. Are we even live?
Yeah.
I mean, we're live. Yeah, we got people watching.
Yeah, we're live.
I suppose.
Yeah, we're live.
Yep.
Look, your wife says hi.
Good.
We're live.
All right, hi Casey. If there's any delay, let us know. You got a new computer coming in.
I do.
So hopefully that picks up any sort of, or takes out any sort of stream delays or anything that we end up having, or,
Well.
not delays, but glitchiness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
we're live.
Hey, this old gal has worked since 2014. So
It's true.
You know.
Very true. Yep.
Yeah.
So
she's put in her years.
So what I'm seeing from this is you haven't gotten any farther in your purple worm than last time.
No, but that's because I spent all of this week painting your stuff.
Yes, I really shouldn't bring that up like I'm scolding you, because
Yes.
you've literally been doing what I've been asking you to. Hey Bosco, how's it going? Welcome.
Welcome, Bosco.
Yep, can we edit the name on this?
Sure, right here.
Oh, that'll edit on
Yep.
both?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, we're so professional. We know how to do this. We promise.
Paint stream.
Paint stream.
Update titles. Update all.
I'm just glad it let me log in, because last time Restream
I don't know if it actually did anything, but that's okay.
Restream thought I was a robot and kept giving me the CAPTCHA things.
Yeah.
Hey, pick out the 12 cyclists with a slightly smaller left foot, type of a thing, and it was kind of a pain. Because Preston has the full professional version of it.
Yeah.
And so we use that because it's easier than trying to do two at once on two different OBS streams and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's not updating on YouTube. That's right.
See if you can just edit on YouTube.
That is what I'm doing. Whap. Save.
So yeah, sorry.
Now all of China will know.
So it's not Preston's paint or art stream. Sorry about that. But you get what you get.
I should have, if I would have had a little bit more time to prep, I would have forced you to do art tonight.
No. I can only do it on the tablet. I don't know how to hook that up.
That's why I said we would need a little bit more prep. Yeah.
And I also cannot draw, so.
Yeah. But, yeah, we just recorded episode 4 last night. And episode 2 came out this week. So if anybody has any questions about episode 2 or session 2, let us know.
What happened in session 2?
Session 2 was the Forest Guardian.
Yes.
So you met the Incubus, you met Belladonna, you met, or you got the memories from the Creeper Vines.
Yep.
And then you talked with the Guardian of the Forest.
The creeper memories from the Creeper Vines?
Yep. The creepier memories from the creepier vines.
I meant creeper as in, something that Chris Hansen would say, hey, we need to talk.
Have a seat. And then a tangle of vines just, sits down, and they're like, oh, what's going on? I don't understand. Because, they always try to play dumb afterwards, right?
I don't understand, because I'm a tangle of vines. But he's got a point.
Very true. But yeah, so session 2 was a lot of fun. Session 2 took a long time to finish. It was like 1:30 in the morning
Yeah.
before we were done. So it was a
Yeah.
long episode for sure. And it took us a long time to edit it too, which is part of the reason why you're getting the new computer.
Yeah.
Is because it took
Yeah.
like 2 hours to render.
Yeah, we were up until 1 a.m. getting
Yeah.
it all uploaded and scheduled, and
And I had to go to work the next morning, like at 5:50.
yeah,
I had to wake up, so it has been a busy week, and I hadn't gotten a chance to take a nap in the last like 3 days until today.
oh, I'm an old man. I need naps all the time.
I do.
I get angry without my nappy.
It's true. I do. I need my blanket and I need my nappy.
That's okay. I think everyone understands.
Yeah. Hopefully. And if not, whatever. Waiting for Bosco in the audience of the treetop fight to lean over to a random fairy and say, I could have vouched for them. I don't know why they had to fight, wasting valuable party time. The whole point for Bosco is that he probably can't, like, interfere. In fact, if they would have talked to him, he would have said, like, look, I can't tell you what to do. But yeah, I do like the idea that Bosco is that type of mischievous that he'd be like, they could have just asked. They could have just said, hey, that guy over there knows us.
Yeah. Well, I took it as Bosco's there as a supporting character.
He's there as like the watcher, right?
Yeah.
He's Uatu. He can't interfere. He can only watch unless
Bosquatu.
unless the party is in danger or something like that, right?
I mean, are we in danger?
Maybe.
Could be in danger.
Who knows?
Maybe. Maybe not.
I will say that the whole reason why you guys had the fight was because of Aramis.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a you guys were like thinking of a way, and if you would have asked him like, what can we do, like a quest for you or something, he would have given you like a much simpler quest to go on.
What did Dallin say?
He cast hypnotic pattern on the treant.
Oh yeah.
To try and charm him.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. And so the treant was like, violence. Okay then.
Was that Dallin's first I want to seduce?
As a bard?
As a bard? Yeah, I'm stretching, but you know.
I don't like the idea
I want to seduce the treant.
Of using charming magic to seduce, though. That feels...
Yeah.
That feels a little...
R-wordy.
Yeah, a little R-wordy to me. But, I mean, it's there to just make friends, right?
Yeah, you don't want friends with salad.
It just so happened that he tried to do it against an ancient forest spirit that was also a bard and had counter charm, and, you know, like... Also,
yeah. I've been barding before you were born.
Yep. Also,
I've been trying to seduce things before you were born.
Like the mighty oak.
Yeah. Yep. I've sown my seeds.
I want to know, for the couple people we have in the chat, have you ever had a game where a bard actually used counter charm? Because that's the first time we've ever seen it used, I think. There may have been like one time where Braum used it, but I don't remember using a lot of mind control magic on the party in our campaign that you can find way back when, the Broken Spear campaign.
Don't look for it, it's really bad.
Casey says no, so she doesn't remember Braum using counter charm when she was in that campaign.
Yeah.
I'm super excited though. I have something, like, I was going through the minis trying to find one for you to do. And I found a really good one that I've been wanting to see done for a while now.
Is he at least primered in white?
Yes.
Mostly white?
Yep. He's Zenithal.
Heavy Zenithal?
Yeah, pretty heavy. I've only seen it in the Godforged campaign. What is the Godforged campaign?
Obviously, it's where the gods forge stuff.
That's fair.
Duh.
I suppose. Mm-hmm. We need to watch Rings of Power.
Yeah, we do. We're only on episode 2.
3.
Well, we are on 3.
No, we finished 3.
Did we finish 3?
Yep.
Okay.
Because 3 was the one with the warg and the elf slaves and whatnot.
I'm more excited, honestly, to watch Andor right now.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with most Star Wars.
That's true, you do.
Star Wars, to me, is very fantasy rather than sci-fi, but tries to play itself off as sci-fi. And so it kind of bugs a little bit when I'm watching stuff, and I'm like,
So when they do like the more sci-fi stuff, you're...
Well, the other thing too that really always bothered me is Jedis are just space wizards, and they can use space magic to do anything, right? Like, and don't get me wrong, I still like Star Wars. I still watch it, but you know, it's one of those like if you had to choose Desert Island, blah blah blah, like it wouldn't be Star Wars.
Yeah,
like
it'd be Star Trek.
It'd be Star Trek,
of course,
obviously.
Bosco says a British dude ran D&D group. All the crew are Twitch streamers. Is that High Rollers by chance? I watch a lot of D&D streams. Y'all are just my favorite.
Yes.
Oh, that's gives me the tingles.
We win. We have now made it.
Because if it's High Rollers, it's the Yogscast. That's their D&D stream. So they have it's Yogscast players, or some of them are. They're all still in the Yogscast, but it's kind of become a little bit bigger than the Yogscast in some places at this point. So it's one of their big draws. Oh, okay, so different than the High Rollers. There was that one that I wanted to listen to, or that you wanted to listen to as well. The Girls Play, not Girls Play, but
Girls Who Don't D&D.
Yes,
something like that.
Something like that.
I found it on Spotify, and it's 3 or 4 women that have never played D&D before, and then a dungeon master who has, and he just kind of guides them through different situations. But it's actually really fun because they get a lot of situations, and they do a lot of extra things that you wouldn't normally see from a D&D group.
Yeah.
Right. And I really like that idea. Like introducing new players to it.
Yeah, I remember listening to the first episode, and he basically started them off with like amnesia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they all woke up in a cell together, and typical drunk girl in a club, like, oh babe, you're awesome, I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, they immediately we're all best friends,
and I
which is
absolutely
great.
loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and so it made me want to watch more of it or listen to more, because there's not a visual component to it.
Yeah, but I like that, and I like the idea that he was like slowly introducing them to their abilities based on like their amnesia.
Yeah, because they would say stuff like, I want to try to do this, and he would say, okay, well,
roll here. You know this skill, and
you find that you're able to actually cast this spell, or you're able to do this particular ability, or and it was great, and I love non D&D players playing D&D because there's so many more like outside the box things that they try to do, right? Things like, I want to go inspect this, and it has nothing to do with the thing they're having, or the problem they're having, and I'm not mad at all.
No,
because I'm always like, it's always funny, and it would take a very dedicated and skilled DM to be able to be like improv on the fly type of a thing. Yeah,
but yeah, I do enjoy that type of like introducing people nice and slow and getting them into the game like that. I know that Acquisitions Incorporated, when they were first doing the first one, they kind of did that a little bit. Chris Perkins was like he did really good not holding their hands, but like guiding them through the character creation process. Because they started with Take a Drink 4th edition, and then moved in.
I like how we're calling it Take a Drink edition.
Yeah, Take a Drink edition. But I really I listened to those probably about 15 times.
All of them?
Because there were only 4 by the time that I got to them.
Yeah.
Not including their Dark Sun
you
campaign.
liked them before they were cool.
Kinda. Like I was the first of my friend group that had ever heard about them, and then all of a sudden other people were talking about it, and I was like, I told you about these guys like years ago, but whatever, that is the crux of I liked them before they were cool for me, right? It's not that like, oh, they're too popular now. It's more of the fact that it's like, I literally told you about these people, about this show, about this game, about these, D&D players, or this D&D group, like, years ago.
Yeah.
And you went, oh, cool, I'll check them out,
Well,
and not you specifically, but, like, anybody that I talked to, but you as well.
I probably did, because at the time I wasn't really interested in D&D, because I'd never played it, or I had played it, but it was with with some not so great people.
Yep.
And
we were younger then too.
Yeah,
like,
and we didn't really understand.
Know. Yeah.
We played a couple things where the rules were just kind of like not even guidelines. They were basically just like ignore them. We'll do whatever we want.
I remember. I still remember the first game that we played with our cousin as the Dungeon Master, the Star Wars game.
Yeah, it wasn't Edge of the Empire, was it?
No, it was. It was like the 3.5 Star Wars adaptation.
Yeah.
And we played, and I played I don't even remember the race, but it's Plo Koon, the guy with the mask.
Yeah.
His race, and I played one of them as a scoundrel, but all I wanted to do was tailor. Like, I had tailoring as like a profession skill, and that's all I wanted to do was make clothes.
Because you were playing WoW at the time?
No, like I said, I was 10, so it was before WoW came out.
Cory's secret life goal is to tailor.
How dare you not be interested? Bosco says.
In what?
In everything that I tell you about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's on my side in the brother versus brother war. In the brothers war.
The brothers war.
Always played tech specialist in Star Wars. See, you played a slicer.
Yeah, a Salonian.
And unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of slicing for you to do, but you were also a sniper, so that kind of worked out for you.
That was played with our main group.
Yep.
That now plays D&D on here. Tales of Aneria group.
Yeah. They were we were taking a break between Broken Spear and Strahd. And I just said, I want to show you guys Star Wars. I know you all like it. Let's play Edge of the Empire. And I gave them all the brief overview. And even before this first session, they were kind of iffy on it, and they didn't want to play. They were like, we just want to get to the next D&D campaign.
Well, and a lot of it was I only have X amount of time a week to play campaigns, and I would rather it be D&D.
Yep.
We did play a little bit. We played 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah, we played. I think we played 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Total. And the first episode, or all the episodes, I did a opening crawl for. Yeah. I found something online that you could do an opening crawl scroll for Star Wars, and complete with the music and everything like that. So the game would start, I would dim the lights, and on the projector behind me, which you can see on any of the episodes, it's just that white screen that's the projector. I would just post up the crawl, and everybody would watch it. And that first one came on, and everybody's eyes lit up, and it was so cool. So they were okay with it up until the end. They were okay running through. I believe we had 2 Jedi. Dallin and Colby played Jedi. Don't remember what races they were.
I don't either.
They were basically apprentices for a Camino Jedi master, and that was killed by an old apprentice of his that was a kind of like a cyborg Sith almost. It wasn't Darth Vader, but it was he was very much cybernetic and everything. And then we had Preston, of course, played an Ewok demolitionist.
Yes.
If you remember.
Yeah, and I remember my favorite thing from him is him hurling a grenade up in the leg joint or hip joint area of an ATST, and it blowing up and causing the whole thing topple over.
Yeah, that was really good. That was during the final fight with the stormtroopers and everything like that.
I played a Salonian slicer named Parlot.
Yep.
And we used my ship, which was called the Den Mother.
Yep.
Which
I always called it the Mother's Den.
I know you did.
On accident. Even in the crawls, I listed it wrong several times. Bosco says he likes lebooms.
Yes, lebooms.
Brian P., welcome. Late but here. You know what? You're not late. A wizard arrives precisely when they mean to.
Yep.
I've been watching the Everything Great with Lord of the Rings, because he posted the 2-parters for Fellowship and 2 Towers as 1-parters. And I want to watch those movies again.
Yeah?
Yep.
I have not seen them in a long, long time.
Yeah, it has been a while. Casey and I watched them a little bit ago, but it's still been a long time for me. And in fact, once again, the curse of me never watching Fellowship happened because she watched Fellowship without me.
I'm going to just sit you down one day and be like, here, we're going to watch Fellowship 12 times in a row. Yep. And you can just make up for it every single time.
But she watched Fellowship without me because she wanted to go through them, and then I came in towards the end of Fellowship, and I was like, oh, well, let me know when you start the 2 Towers, because I'll happily join you, you know, kind of thing. And I just walked off.
You didn't even want to watch, like, part of it?
No, I mean, like, I watched a little bit, but
Okay.
it was like, I don't want her to, like, be like, hey, I'll start it over for you or anything like that. When I DM'd, I liked running Smuggler/Special Forces campaign in Star Wars. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do like that.
My favorite part about Star Wars RPG, not Jedis.
I mean, you can have Jedi.
You can play Jedi, but I'm just saying, like, there's so much extra lore out there, and I love delving into the extra lore, which is why I like Solo and Rogue One and Andor, and, you know, even Obi-Wan's, like, yes, it's got Jedi stuff, but there's so much extra world building that's done. I think that's fantastic.
So you're adding, like, a brown wash to the spines? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm adding, like, a skeletal horde wash, because they're too basic bitch for me.
Okay. Have you guys ever played the Vampire the Masquerade Mage Werewolf games? No.
Ooh,
That
I
is
want to.
That is one of the ones that I don't want to go LARPing. No, you don't have to LARP to play Vampire the Masquerade. It's just, yeah.
You don't want to get your own set of custom fit fangs?
Bosco says, amen to that, Scott. He likes the Force Adept class, by the way, which is not quite a Jedi, but still has a little bit of that kind of... It's more psionic, in my opinion, than Jedi, right?
Yeah. We had one Jedi in one of our groups that was outside of our Tales of Aneria group.
For like one episode, for one session,
and then she couldn't make it anymore, but...
I was a doctor in that one.
Yep, and I was a
Duros.
droid.
Yeah, you were my droid bodyguard.
I was a very murder happy droid.
Yep, you.
I played a murder hobo, but since droids aren't really needing houses, I was not homeless.
my home is my chassis. Yeah.
Yeah,
Casey, it's okay. You don't have to say sorry.
Tarvos.
Yeah, I miss Tarvos. He was great.
I do too.
There was so one of the times we were in a cave network inside of an asteroid, the type of cave network that you would normally find like the space worms in, right? Mm-hmm. And we were dealing with a band of smugglers, and we were trying to figure out what to do. So because they were trying to like screw us out of a deal, and we knew that it was going to be a trap.
Yeah. Or
maybe we needed to like take them out.
I can't remember.
I can't remember the exact situation, but we roll up, myself, the Rhodian engineer, and the Weequay pilot roll up with pushing the cart along, and with like this big giant crate, and we're talking with them, and things go south, and I just shout Tarvos, and Scott's character jumps out of the crate, or bursts out of the crate, holding his minigun that he carried with him everywhere, because he specifically went for the heavy gun.
Yep.
And he just started shouting "Die meatbags" and shooting at all of them to start combat, and it was brilliant. That was probably one of my favorite moments.
I played a very like, I don't understand biologicals. They have weird. They have weird things that they do. They leak all the time, and you know they make weird squishy sounds when you squeeze them.
Yep.
You know, and I thought it was pretty fun.
The other great moment was you going to kick down a door.
Yes.
Rolling and succeeding on it. So you take your foot and you thrust it forward, stop, and then just hit the button with your toe.
Yep.
Because it was an automatic door, and you just let it slid open.
When I had to wait for a round with my leg just sitting up, standing there, I somehow convinced our GM to let me have a minigun, like called a Sidewinder or something.
No, it was the it wasn't an E-Web blaster, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It was they called it like a heavy gun.
Yeah.
Or like a heavy repeating
blaster.
Heavy repeating blaster.
Mm-hmm.
And
we didn't find out about the Sidewinder until after the sessions.
And to be fair, you pretty much did that within the rules.
Yeah.
You made sure you had the strength for it with your mods and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You took your complications as debt so that you could get the 1,500 credits needed for the blaster.
Yep.
And you worked it as the 1,500 credits was basically how much you owed the person who put you back together and brought you back.
Yeah.
Before you escaped, like their the slave.
Slave owner, not slave owner, the droid.
What is it called? It's a
restraining bolt?
Yes, restraining bolt. That's the name. And yeah, so you basically you did do it within the rules, but it was one of those things where it was like it kind of made combat a bit more trivial.
Well, because every time we would play against stormtroopers, I could take out a whole squad in one round.
Yeah. Luckily,
So-
I balanced it out by only carrying a light blaster on me, which
We call
bugged
it the WAP gun.
Yep,
'cause
the WAP
it's
gun.
the same
Yep.
gun that Leia uses, and it goes whoop whoop.
Padme.
Padme. Yeah, that's right, Padme.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop.
Wop wop. Yeah, and it bugged one of our players so bad because
Our power gamer friend.
yeah, our power gamer friend wanted to make sure that we were all having the best weapons possible. Like he gave me we found one of the best blasters for the light type of gun that I could use, and he gave it over to me, and I'm like, of course, and I just kind of set it to the side, and I never used it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just like the Whopper. I was the doctor. I wasn't there for combat.
You were the Burger King. You love that Whopper.
I love that Whopper.
Yeah, we...
Probably couldn't hit you anyway. I think you did end up with, like, ship's hull as part of your...
I did. Well, that was another
armor?
thing that I convinced him to, because we salvaged the ship, and I asked him if there was any way I could use the ship's hull that we got in the salvage, and he just... I don't know. He's just too nice, and he said, "Yeah."
Yeah, he meant because they were stormtroopers, though. They couldn't hit you.
Oh, right,
I
right.
didn't realize that either.
Yeah, that too.
But yeah, that was a fun game.
It was a very fun game.
I remember. I remember us knocking a hut out and having to drag them out on like a hover cart, trying to be discreet about it as we basically kidnap them to take them back to the Black Sun.
In Star Wars, only in Star Wars can you say we knocked out a hut and have people be like, "Yes, well, I totally understand what you mean."
Yep.
Rather than a what? A hut? How? You know.
A whole Pizza Hut? How'd you knock that down? That was a fun game.
Yep, and that was our friend Adam running that, which is in my Adventures of Theorist game.
Yeah, him and his wife. His wife was in that game too. So.
She was our Rhodian pilot with a heavy
mechanic. She was the mechanic.
Mechanic, with a heavy Brooklyn accent.
Yeah, she had a. Was it Brooklyn or was it Boston?
It was Boston.
I think she had a Boston accent. And it was always like, it was so fun talking with her. Shmee. Shmee was her name. Zmoo. Yeah, sorry. Shmee is Anakin's mom.
It's also Captain Hook's life partner.
Life partner, yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had it coming. Yes, exactly. Yeah, the hut did have it coming.
They always do.
It was...
I actually bought the source book, The Lords of Nal Hutta.
Oh, yeah. Because you needed a specific item from there. They had like
taser gauntlet.
Yeah, they had the taser gauntlet that you
really
wanted
liked.
for your guy. But it was like very tempting for me to play a HUD character of my own.
And again, that's one thing I loved about that whole series was the fact that it did give us some extra lore. You know, so that's why like when I played the Star Trek Adventures, I didn't limit you guys directly to Starfleet stuff.
Yeah.
Because within a couple sessions, you had already switched to like an alternate universe and lawless lands and things like that.
It was that was a fun time too.
I want to get better at drawing because I want to comic and chronicle those in comic book form.
Yeah.
Or webcomic form because I think it would be fantastic to do all that because I have all the episodes like written down. And I don't know if I know exactly what you guys did, like specifically, but I'm sure I can wing it, right?
Yeah. Scott, you want to riff a bit while I go let your dog out?
Sure.
He is, he's been up a storm up there. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Again, we didn't plan this. This was a sudden change of rule. So yeah. What other tabletop RPGs do you guys like to play? I know that there's like Vampire the Masquerade, and we talked about Star Wars, Star Trek, but what are some others that are like maybe not so well known that you like that you might be a little obscure or something? I know we played like a Call of Cthulhu, I believe, is another one that we've played a little bit of. There's always like the Fate Core system, which you can kind of use for anything, but like what's something else you like? Go ahead and review. Yeah, no, you don't want to hear that. Sorry, Bosco. I'm not a rapper. I don't even wrap my Christmas presents. Ba-boom. Dad joke. Not even a dad. Fallout. Oh! Modifius makes that, right? I think they do. If I recall. Maybe I think of something else. I know I've seen it before, and I've seen it on a couple other YouTube channels, and they've talked about it, and they actually really like it. I've never actually played the Fallout games myself. I know they're pretty dang cool, and I love the whole concept of like a post-apocalyptic world where the highest technology level, or at least like aesthetic-wise, is 1950s. What do you call that? Like retro. Oh man, yeah, it's a great aesthetic, and it was a lot of fun.
Am I talking about other RPGs?
Well, sorry, Brian. I only have one group that I play with all the time, and you guys can watch it. But yeah, oh man, one of my ultimate goals in life is to make gaming kind of my full-time deal, right? Make it the top thing that I do all the time, and then I would love to get some extra people to do extra stuff. Oh, I have so many RPGs. I have books and books and books full of RPGs that I want to play with people, and it's just hard to get a full group together and stay consistent. Even in our Tales of Aneria game, we still have definite times where there's lots of like, oh, can't, family, vacation, whatever, and trying to keep a super consistent group can be pretty tough.
Yes, it can.
Ask Cory about some of the scheduling nightmares we've had in the past, right?
I have had to switch things around, flip things. Last Sunday, we had to reschedule a game 3 times because every time I'd be like, "Hey, how about this date?" Somebody would go, "No, I can't do that.
Can't do that. I got to this." Or
Yep.
I got that. Yeah, and that was a theorist, AOA. Adventures of a Theorist.
Fallout role-playing game.
I asked them what their other tabletop RPGs that they like that aren't usually mentioned. Maybe sort of uncommon and stuff.
Well, I've only played one other a lot, and it was Mutants and Masterminds.
Oh yeah.
And are you kidding me, buddy? Now he wants to play. Now your dog wants to play.
Yep.
Yep.
You let him out. That was the magic trigger word.
Yep.
It's got post-poop zoomies.
No, I actually... So, you say, ooh, yeah, but honestly, Mutants and Masterminds was a hard system.
The system was hard, yes. But what the ooh, yeah is for is the story and the characters and just the overall, like NPCs, the plot, and all that stuff. Oh, fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you.
Yeah. And in fact, we sat down how long before we started? Months? Months before we decided to play.
Mm-hmm.
And started coming up with a superhero universe. Trying to be distinct from Marvel and DC. And we came up with... We have an entire database full of...
Who's we? It's my database.
Mine
You contributed, but it's mine. This wasn't a world that we made together.
Yes, it was. When we first started, we sat down and riffed back and forth about how everything
Superhero
worked
ideas,
and how
yeah.
the world came to be and all that fun stuff.
Yep. I'm still using that database to this day, by the way.
I know, so am I.
Anytime that I'm I have a good 4 or 5 books that I want to write in that universe as like an aftermath to the campaign, and not have the characters from the campaign in there other than cameos. Yeah. I mean, you've read a little bit of it.
Yes, I have.
But this is for the audience at home.
Tell Cory that he needs to write more. He keeps writing stuff and it's really good, and then he decides he doesn't want to write that anymore and moves to something else because he's got ADD for it or something.
Yep, I'm a serial book starter.
Yes, you are.
Yep. Casey, yeah, you did help create some of those characters.
We even
Detective Hart, a.k.a. Frankencop, was one of yours.
Couple characters that our players had made as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, that was a really hard system. I think I would love to go back to the universe itself but with a different system.
Like the Sentinels?
Like the Sentinels RPG.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Sentinels of the Multiverse, if you haven't played it, it's a card game, it's really fun. And they turned it into an RPG system and had a full Kickstarter for it, and I backed it.
And it's a lot more like narrative storytelling rather than minifigures.
Mechanical.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of that. Write more write, please. Yes, I know. I have a bunch of short stories that I still need to write. I've got like 3 ready for Tales of Aneria, and a 4th one that's about halfway done that I need to keep writing because I want to get those out. I'm actually planning on releasing those
like an audio drama style.
Yeah, as like narrations on our off weeks.
Yeah.
So if people want to listen to my voice, and I'll link the Google Drive link if they just want to read the story, when they want. And then I've got I think there were 5, actually there might be 5 different superhero books in the same universe that I want to write. They're all like different sections, whether it's a mystic or a city hero or a galactic team or just like I wanted to do like a teen one, like a teen
Wolf.
Yeah, Teen Wolf one. Yeah. And then I have the new one that I just started on writing prompt. I want to do more with that one.
So what you're telling me, so we were talking just a minute ago while you were letting the dog out. I was talking, Brian had mentioned that, struggling to find a group, and I said, well, one of my primary goals in life is to become a RPG gamer full-time, right?
Yeah.
And I think that your goal is not necessarily to RPG game, but to create writing and stuff. And I think, tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know you love playing, obviously, and you'd still play, but like you even told me that when I was DMing that you liked playing, but you also got nostalgic for DMing.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh man, I like being able to like know all the story and all the beats.
It's not a fact of like controlling the story, because when I actually mentioned that to our mom, and she's like, oh, you like to be in control of the story, and I'm like, kind of, but it's more about knowing everything about the story.
About the world.
Yep, like knowing the lore and everything like that. That is what I really want. So not being in control of that was like, it wasn't as fulfilling, but it still is fun. I enjoyed playing Audion a whole lot. Yeah. Bosco thinks that you should do the narration for my audiobooks because you got good narrating voice.
I got the voice. Yep. I hate the way I sound. I know everyone says that, right?
It's about being God, Mom.
You wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, I would absolutely. I'll narrate some of your stuff. No big deal.
Cool. Yeah, I want to get some extra voice acting in on the short stories. For like multiple male characters, we can bring you in on. So, yeah, I'm very excited.
I played the monster in our commercial.
Did you?
Yeah, I was the monster. I made the roar sound.
Oh, I thought I had done the monster voice for some reason.
I did the monster sound.
Way back in the 10K gauntlet.
Yeah, when we made the Dr.
Chaos's
commercial.
Dr. Chaos.
Fun stuff.
That was
the stop motion.
Casey was the kobold, that's right.
Yes. And she started the yell at first, and then it switched over to my yell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I remember. Good. I'm glad I got you to do that instead of being Dr. Chaos and the monster.
My acting chops is consistent. I'll put that on my resume and be like, here's my portfolio. Yep. I was the RAR.
Yeah, I was the RAR. Yep. You also did say thanks, Chaos X. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good too. If you go back to Colby's channel over on D&D Optimized or
D4 Deep Dive.
Yeah, D4 Deep Dive. And you go find the 10K gauntlet, I think about halfway through. There may be even a chapter for it. I don't know, but there's a fun little commercial that I put in there that we basically kind of stop-go animation, just,
it was our first,
just for the hell of
it. Attempt at something like that.
Yeah, like that was actually our first attempt at editing.
Yes.
That was our first video that we ever edited, was that 10K.
Yeah.
Because we had everything. We were just like, yeah, we'll take care of it, Colby,
Yep. And
we ended up staying up until 5 a.m, I think.
Getting it ready.
Getting it ready.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. It was late.
That
but
was that
5
was
in
the
the
first
morning
episode.
was the first episode on.
Tales of Aneria.
Mm-mm. It was when we switched everything over to Tales of Aneria.
Oh.
Because if you remember,
Yes.
we had that screw up where we put all the videos, we uploaded all the videos, and the way that they uploaded them out of order, basically.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't let us correct the order, so we had to go through, hide all the videos, and then one by one put them back in.
Upload them.
Yeah, upload them. Yeah, it was...
And yeah, we were up till 5 in the morning.
Mm-hmm, we were literally... Yeah, and I literally went, okay, well, I am going into work, and I think I worked half the day. Oh, no, I called into work. I called in sick that day.
No. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, and you I think you might have worked a half day, but
yeah,
it was 5 a.m. and you had to go to work, and you're just like, I'm just going to stay up.
Yeah.
And go to work, and then you worked half day or whatever. But
yeah,
that was a rough night trying to get everything uploaded. Stupid YouTube and their dumb the way they do their video uploads and stuff. And
yeah, it was.
Yeah, because I did a mass upload, which apparently was no big deal, because I uploaded them. Well, not a mass upload. I started them one at a time, but because like an older video or a newer video finished first.
Yeah.
Suddenly it was ahead of the rest of them, and it was bad. Yeah. And it would have looked terrible on the playlists.
We have improved so much, not only with like editing quicker, but also just like being able to schedule our time better too.
Yeah.
And just like our methods have gotten a little bit more concise. I remember the first couple episodes we were like we had like a big checklist, and we were going through everything twice to make sure it was working. We still missed stuff. And then, and this time it's like...
Now it's all second nature. We can kind of just go through. Not that we don't check it. We still try to check it. And you know what? There was even a screw up in this last one.
True. There was a small screw up in the last episode.
If you know what it is, you'll know. It bugs the crap out of me, but that's one thing that I don't like about YouTube is I can't re-upload a copy of the same one. It makes a whole new video, and you lose all of your comments, use all of your stuff. And I understand why they do it. Because, someone doesn't want to put something super controversial and then, or not controversial, and then everyone's like, yeah, this is great, and then they change it with something bad, like, I understand the reasoning why they don't do that, but it does make things kind of annoying and hard, and there's no built-in editor. If they had a built-in editor, that would be even better, if I could just edit parts of it,
you could just, adjust a part of it.
Yeah, you can mute things, that's about it.
You can mute, and you can, like, do an annotation to be like... sorry, this will clear up in a moment or something like that. I run on caffeine and D&D content. Yeah, pretty much. That's my life too. Y'all's quality is perfect, not too over the top, polished just right. Thank you. Anthony.
Hey, Anthony. I've always wondered if editing things out would be negative. Like, would people not like that? Because I know a lot of people like the full, like, long format, like raw, never edited. But we edit out things like breaks. Obviously,
we edit out.
Has their break, but we edit out breaks. We edit out
whenever like one of us stands up to go let the dogs out or something, because that's just
if someone says something that might be too non PG-13 for our group or whatever. Like,
did you edit the one out of this episode?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll never release them. You'll never hear them again.
Are you doing the base a sand color? What color do we got going for the base
this
here?
This is just a brown. I figured this guy would be kind of like in the dirt, bursting up through the dirt and stuff. I'm not gonna go heavy on the base. I might do a quick and dirty dry brush on this thing, but I don't really care much for the bases. Like I've been getting more and more into the clear bases, because I like that I can put them on any creature and they can be basically dropped into any environment. Whereas a specified base, where if I build a creature and they put them on like a grasslands base, and then all of a sudden they show up in a dungeon, and it's like, well, that kind of looks odd. I mean, most people don't give a shit. I don't really care either.
Yeah.
But it is nice to be able to have them just be clear, just acrylic base, and then they can just be in whatever environment we're currently in.
Yeah.
I like that.
Anthony's already donated $13.99. Thank you very much.
Nice, thank
Appreciate
you,
that. Already making it rain, indeed. Sent $13.99 for the stream I missed. Yes, we saw that. Appreciate that very much.
Did. Thank you.
And then Anthony says, the dry brushing is sick. I have learned so much from the last stream.
Well, you know what? That makes me really happy.
I keep telling you, you do good painting.
Thanks. I have a problem where, I watch YouTube miniature painters, and these are people that do professional stuff, and they do like competition paint jobs and things like that.
Yeah.
And most of my paint jobs are not. I don't spend a lot of time on them because we have our channel and we have
a week to get things done.
And I need to just get it done, get it to the point where it's table ready. It looks good from a few feet away at arm's length. It looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Next time we have any sort of break, I'm gonna make you focus and really do a deep detail paint job on something.
Spend a bunch of time on it.
Yeah, just to see just to give you a good deep dive into what you've learned and everything like that.
Yeah, because I don't do things. I don't wet blend. I don't edge highlight. I don't go in and I don't do 3 different layers of colors.
Mm-hmm.
From the base layer up to make things lighter. I pretty much am base color. Do some dry brushing. Done. Call it good.
Underbelly was a great call. He says,
yeah.
I'll pay you for every hour you paint. Ooh, 24-hour paint stream.
Oh my gosh. I do it, but wow.
That would be a charity thing, I
yes,
think.
It would,
that would that would be something if we ever did something for charity. I do want to do a 24-hour game stream, paint stream, art stream thing, Tales of Aneria stuff. Maybe even a live one shot or something like that.
Yeah.
If we did something for charity.
Pizza and stuff, so.
Yep.
We'd have to hire people to bring food out.
Cory's thinking big. Yeah. I
always,
am
always. We're still trying to figure out what we're going to do for 5K.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get there soonish. And
I actually had a question that I wanted to ask you, not about the 5K, but about the short stories. Do you think it would be better? And feel free to chime in, everybody at home, as well. Do you feel like it would be better just to do the page turn like we've done for the Kilobix recap, that we're going to be doing for the recaps going forward? Or do you think doing the voiceover and maybe the script over you painting something that relates to the story, perhaps? Which do you think is better? Because we really wouldn't be able to do too much with the words, because we'd have to render that, and that would take forever.
Yeah,
that would be an After
the
Effects
page turn.
thing.
The page turn already took a decent amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Preston did the other part. He did the scrolling text in After Effects.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'd fly out and join if donating 1,000K. We would never obviously it's for charity,
1,000
right?
K is $1 million. Do you mean
$1,000? Or do you mean 10K or 100K?
Or do you mean 1,000K? Because I'm not going to assume anything here.
If we got 1,000K, which would be $1 million,
yep.
I would absolutely fly you out, and you would join us for a game. That's for sure. And I would quit my job and D&D full time for 3 years while I worked on my books.
Well, if it went to charity.
Yep, 1K.
I was 1,000K, nice.
Yeah, if we ever do any sort of charity, no, you're good, man. You donate enough already. You don't have to feel bad that you can't donate $1 million to the stream. We do appreciate it.
Can you imagine though if you were that wealthy and you could go to small streams and do? I love those videos on Twitch where it's the super small streamers and they've got maybe 3 people watching, and all of a sudden it's so and so donated 10K and they just freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
I think those are hilarious. I love them, and I think it's awesome to be able to do that. And I want to one day. I would love to be able to be
don't have $1 million, but I will have it someday. Good goal.
Awesome. Good goal.
Amazing.
I would love to also have that and then get to the point where I could support small streams. Also, if I was rich, I'd just support all of us.
Yeah.
I'd pay Colby, I'd pay Preston, and I'd pay Dallin and you.
It's gonna be where am I in all of this?
I'll just keep you in a closet.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll feed you through a hamster ball.
You let me out, and I've got my collar on. Is it time for game night, Master?
Gotta put the new hamster bottle in, and it's
Pastaroni.
and Code Red Mountain Dew.
Oh, yeah.
But mixed together.
Oh, no. That sounds terrible.
Bosco says he would cater a gourmet fantasy meal for the game for that.
Yeah, that's another thing, too, is I would love to have, like, a dedicated place that all my friends could come and play. And I would absolutely cater everything.
Oh, yeah.
Every single session would be a
The fanciest charcuterie you've ever seen.
yes.
Because that's our thing. That's one of our things ever since the 10 came.
Charcuterie.
But yeah,
Like actual shark.
I do definitely want to like do either the page flipping or the paint. I'd like to do the paint just because it gives a good visual while somebody's listening. But
Or paint.
Yeah, paint. But I worry that like people would miss things. But then we're going to be including the full script anyway as like the short story. So I don't know yet. All the short stories need to go through about 3 more rounds of edit checking as well.
Yeah,
I think because I edit them after I finish writing. I'll go through it again and do a quick edit. And then you go through and you leave suggestions and edit. And Casey's been nice enough to do that with these ones as well, leaving me some suggestions and whatnot. But I feel like a one more edit pass would be good for these ones, just because there are things that I miss all the time. If you want to go read something that I wrote right now, go to the Reddit writing prompts, r/writing prompts. There's a post that I made on there like 4 days ago that it was the first writing prompt that I ever became that I ever decided to jump in on because it gave me an inspiring idea. And I might continue it as a book now because I really like the concept that I came up with.
Serial book starter.
Exactly. I have like 3 lit RPG books that I want to do that I haven't even done yet.
No, Cory. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with a book or something.
We could rent a hotel or castle for a weekend and organize all the big YouTube dogs. That'd be awesome. I would absolutely. That would be the one of my goals would be to stream or play with somebody like Joe Cat or Jenny D or.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Anthony, $13.99. Thank you. I say I've nearly sent you 500 or even more. I know you're getting close to that 1,000. Eventually, we're gonna feel just obligated. It'll be like what's that one movie where the guy's like, "I'll pay you $1 million to sleep with your wife."
Yeah.
Indecent Proposal.
Yeah,
it's like that.
I'll pay you $1 million to play in your D&D game. Okay.
Yeah. Brian P says, I wrote a book once and my editor almost broke me with revisions. It is really hard to take that kind of criticism, and it's really hard to give out that kind of criticism.
What kind of, like, was it like revising the story or the plot, or was it just like, hey, here's a ton of like spelling mistakes or sentences or things like that? Because one thing...
Also, tell us your book. I want to know.
One thing I can handle is, hey, you got a bunch of like grammatical errors and spelling mistakes. Absolutely, I'm not an English major.
You said he for Bolt like 10 times, yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of they, yeah.
But if it was
like, hey, this part is terrible, this doesn't work, you need to change this, this character is not good, like
that would be a massive like,
that's kind of an editor's job though. When you go through a publishing company, they're trying to make your book as marketable as possible. Yeah. So your book can end up vastly different than you anticipated.
Which is why I love self-publishing.
Yep, I think self-publishing has been great. Honestly, it's kind of the next wave of Penny Dreadfuls.
Next?
Oh, you are painting this wonderful lad. This fancy lad. Gerard Stonefist. You want to put him on screen so that everybody can see him too?
Entirely painted the way I like.
That's right. From way back when, he is a member of the Fallow Shield clan, and if you remember, he had the keg on his back, he had his little rock fist and everything, and his axe. He was just a fun character to play, a good little character for Ceradon, and I just love the look of him, so I wanted him painted tonight.
Okay, well, he's not primered the way I like, so yeah.
A lot of it was organizational issues, introducing characters at weird times, weird snaps between characters and events from chapter to chapter. I get that. Sometimes your brain as a writer is fully aware of every single connection going on, and so you can't see that things are confusing because you know the whole plot.
Well,
which is why I send things to you, but you also know a lot of like the plots for my individual books because I've talked to you about them independently.
Yeah.
I send them to Casey because she's pretty impartial as far as that goes. And then I've also been sending them to our friends Adam and Marissa that are on the Adventures in Atheris game that you play because they are fanatics for reading. And I was worried that I was going to send it to them and they were going to be like, "Oh yeah, none of this works," you know.
Yeah.
But they've been pretty excited to read more, so that's very encouraging.
Yeah, I try to read every time you send me something. I try to read it in an air of, I'm a new reader who's never met any of these characters before. Does this make sense? You know, and there have been a few times where I have said, "Hey, this kind of doesn't flow super well," and then usually you as the writer have reread it and been like, "Oh yeah, I guess that doesn't."
Yep.
You know, and that makes sense. I'm okay with that. But like, yeah, I could see like an editor just being like, all of your stuff sucks. You need to redo it all." And I'd be like, no. I'd be so upset.
Don't remember the details, but I'm pretty sure most of the chapters, like 5, ended up at like 11. Ooh, that would be that's bad when like things get shuffled around. That's no fun. And then he says, "Didn't help that my protagonist was mute, so there was a lot of exposition issues with that." I can see that having a mute character is very difficult.
Did you ever get your stuff published?
Yeah, if you did get it published, or if you have it somewhere, I'd like to read it.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely in love with the idea of independent writing and everything. I read a lot of like Royal Road right now. A lot of I call them the new Penny Dreadfuls, right? Because they're like $2.99, $3.99, $4.99, and a lot of them are just they're not the best written sometimes, but there are plenty of gems in there that give me that wonderful little dopamine rush. Anthony, thank you, another $13.99. Appreciate it. He's on his way to that 1,000.
He's trying. He's gonna try to force
he's
us
trying.
into it.
Yep. Here's a legitimate question, Cory. How do you write your characters' dialogues with accents? He
writes down the accent.
I do actually. Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
That was kind of a joke.
I write down. I write down like mostly. I stick with whenever I'm writing the accent. The one that comes
if
out
it's
the
a
most
woman,
is
it's Southern.
Dwarf. Right. Yeah. If it's a woman, it's Southern. I'm assuming he means like writing actual writing. Right. Not like coming up with the characterizations. Yes, Anthony is a saint. Saint Anthony. But yeah, I will write like I have a specific like idea of like Irish speaking in my head and what it does. So I'll write like you're and dinna instead of did not.
Yeah.
I'll do DIN and AE or whatever. And I'll do things like that. And sometimes it comes across really well. Other times it's very confusing. If it's a dwarf, it's Southern. Yes, exactly. I'm just really bad with that.
Yeah, I did. The only one I've ever done was my dwarf cleric, Durgan, which was the brother of your dwarf, Durgan.
Yeah.
And I did try to write in like a dwarf style accent and stuff for my backstory / introduction that I did to the players and stuff. So
yeah, never got published. It was book 1 of a trilogy, and I couldn't bring myself to finish all after the pain of the first. Someday, maybe. Keep at it, man. That's always the hardest thing. But you know what? The hardest part is
just
writing it. Yeah. Once you get that done, like the editing, it may suck to have to like go back and make revisions. I know that a lot of the books that I have, because they're written out over such a long time, I'm going to go back to the early chapters and I'm going to be like, I was shit back then. I'm going to have to redo this entire thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I do end up...
something changes in the middle of the book, now you've got to go back and adjust some storylines and plot lines and stuff. Yeah, I think, just doing it's probably the hardest part, and just keep trying.
Yeah,
there are always people out there. I mean, okay, look at Tales of Aneria. We did this it was a whim. Hey, we're not sure if this is going to be popular at all, and now there's 3,800 of you that support us. And,
we appreciate
fantastic. So, who knew that there were people out there that wanted to watch a bunch of dorks play D&D, and guess what? There are people out there that want to read your book. Doesn't matter what it is. Someone will want to read it.
Yep. I'll read anything.
Cory will.
I will literally read
Cory's a
anything.
book
Yeah.
slut, for
I,
sure.
I am for sure. I will read. I read so many things. So many things that. Yeah. Anyway, one of my main characters has a Russian accent. I was struggling how to convey that in writing. Ugh, Russian is hard. Because
the best way I've seen it done is just indicating that they're Russian. If it's set in a world where Russians exist, otherwise you got to do like the da, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean the easiest way to convey that would be to give them a tick, as it were, almost where they go. They do their whole spiel where they're like, "Oh yes, that was a very good hit, comrade," and they say "comrade" at the end of every other sentence. That's the easy way to convey it. It's a little bit cliche, but making your character have a tick like that, especially if it's not the main character should be pretty normal, pretty straight man most of the time.
Yeah.
But having a secondary character that has that kind of they say "yeah" at the end of sentences, or
I've been reading The Expanse. Obviously, we've mentioned this many times. I'm sorry. Take a drink, whatever. But there's a lot of Belter language in there, and the writers don't translate it.
You mean the narrator?
Sorry, the narrator and the writers in the book didn't translate it at all. So there are a lot of times where I have no idea what the Belters are saying, but it still works because you get the gist of what's going on.
Yeah,
right?
it's just so far removed.
Yeah, and so I think even writing, as long as it's not a main character, I think if a main character is like that, I wouldn't want to read the book because it'd be too much. It'd be like if someone wrote in another language and then you tried to read it and be like, I don't know what the hell this is saying, because it's 50% in a language I don't know.
Yeah. My brother shouts you out on YouTube. He loves you, Cory. He's got a soft spot for you. Oh, huh. Who's your brother? I want to shout him. We should shout him out too, to our dozens of fans on this stream.
12 people, yay!
And then Brian said that he has a massive story web of everything: the world, the people, the factions, plot points, that sort of organization. And that sort of organization of getting everything out of my head onto paper took me almost 2 years. Yes. I have this database that Scott has referred to for our superhero games has, I think, over 300 heroes and villains in it at this point. At least a dozen or so races, several factions. I have maybe about 15 different Word documents that have different plot points, different building names, organization names, locations, things, items, everything. It's a lot. It is absolutely a lot.
So you and I, and I guess this is kind of an announcement / spoiler, Cory and I have been writing a D&D book together.
Yeah.
A companion book for items mainly. And so we wanted to do this, and we've got document upon document upon document of just details and information and things we want to do and how we want to do this, and that's not even that's just the logistics part of it rather than the actual content, which we do have. We have a lot of the content still.
The biggest content hurdle for us, I think, is going to be
the art.
The art, yep. Because you got to have good art if you're going to do a magic item book.
Yep. We need to hire Preston or someone else that can do a bunch of art for us. And then, I would love to Kickstarter it.
Scott and Cory at D&D Friend Fiction. So Bosco, the other thing that you can do with that character is just remind people that he speaks in a Russian accent all the time.
Yeah, every time you meet someone new.
You can write that he speaks normally, and then every now and then just say he commented in his thick Russian accent, or his thick Russian brogue or whatever. It's not a brogue, that's Irish. But he said in his typical thick Russian, and things like that will just remind the audience that, oh, this character is supposed to have a Russian accent in my head, and then they'll start just relating that to that. And then you don't have to worry about writing a big accent guide or anything like that.
Yep.
Okay. I'd donate. Of course you would, Anthony. Of course you would donate. Thank you. Yeah, donate for anything. Yeah, we're working on that book. It's just a matter of
time.
Yeah, we need a little bit of extra free time once we get things settled back in,
Let's,
we have a little bit of a buffer on.
Let's both quit our jobs and dedicate all of our time to that.
I'll text my boss right now.
Okay.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah, if only.
Yep.
If I had enough money saved up, like, to cover bills and stuff, that would be awesome.
When my dogs move to Canada, I will send you a puppy. I would love to send one for Colby and his daughters. Oh my gosh. Don't start mentioning puppies. My wife will immediately want one.
Also, Colby doesn't like dogs.
Yeah, he's mentioned that the main reason he doesn't get them is Casey says, no, don't quit your job. I can't support us.
I take that back. Colby doesn't say he doesn't like dogs. I think he just doesn't want to deal with a dog.
He doesn't want to.
Because he's always said, he's like, I don't want to go out in the yard and have poop all over.
Yeah, there she goes. She's already shouting for puppies.
Yep.
What type of dogs do you have, Anthony? No, we just need a little bit of extra time, and once we get a little bit more buffer in the Tales of Aneria queue, basically, because this next week is episode 3, and then we have an off week that we're going to do something else for, that we already have prepared.
Yep.
And as we start building up that buffer of episodes, it'll be easier to justify taking a day to do something else instead.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a puppy. You have a puppy.
Yeah, you got a 10-year-old puppy.
Mm-hmm.
He's an old boy.
He's an old puppy.
But he's cute. Yeah, that's definitely on my mental list of things to do when we get more time, because I absolutely want to get that working. And I think that plus working on the Tales of Aneria source book, just in general,
That'd be nice.
I think that would be pretty sweet.
Yep.
As well.
So we're 4 episodes in now. We're going to be recording episode 5 and 6 in Hollow Bend Keep. It's a little bit of a spoiler here, but the Hollow Bend storyline has taken a little longer than I thought it would. And that was because it originally started out as a very quick dungeon. But when I started going through it, I started coming up with more and more ideas, and I'm like, well, this all fits really well, and I think it kind of shows how much Glitterbug's evolved her dungeon as well as the party has evolved, right? So
I think that would be a great, great part of the source book.
Yeah.
Hollow Bend.
Oh yeah, Hollow Bend. I'm planning on doing a few other ones for the source book, talking about a few of the other dungeons. Yeah, a few of the other dungeons, but a few of the other guardians, like Glitterbug, that deal with other tests and trials, right? Yeah. Because that's Glitterbug's whole thing is she's a guardian that helps try heroes to make sure that they're heroic and they're selfless and that kind of thing. And it's done more as a badge of honor, but to show that they can be heroes and weed out those that would not, to show that they don't have the metal for it.
Yeah.
But there are others out there that are the guardian of thieves, the guardian of berserkers, things like that, right? The individual, the guardian of mages, somebody who wants to make sure that their people are good spellcasters or things like that. So, yeah. I have a Lilac and 10 Frenchie and 2 Isabella girls. I have only heard of the Frenchies.
I don't know what a lilac or...
Yeah,
Google it,
or
right? Google.
Yeah, I guess I have Google.
Casey's probably squealing right now. Can I hear her from upstairs?
Yeah. Lilac. Wait. Lilac? Dog? Lilac? Pedigrees are being bred. Range color. Silver charcoal. Tiger stripes. Okay, so French Bulldogs are just a lilac type.
I love French Bulldogs. One of the YouTube channels I follow has 2 of them named Ingot and Bullion.
Oh,
and he melts down stuff and turns them into copper and brass bars and things like that.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that the dogs are named that, but I love them.
And then Isabella is that just a coat type? Not squealing yet. Dog coat, Arno.
Casey, if you're not squealing yet, it's because puppies. You gotta think of the puppy versions of them.
Okay, so this is an Isabella French Bulldog. It is a specific...
Cute, I like it.
Yeah, it's a specific coloring type, I think. And then the other ones are No shedding little poos. That's always good.
Little poo.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the lilacs are just another type of French bulldog.
Another type of French.
They're these types, the kind of I think the darker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the kind of the darker skinned ones. Yeah, they are beautiful. They are little pretty ones. I always feel just a tad bad for bulldogs and such though, because unfortunately eugenics was not on their side in their creation.
I don't know. I mean, they're very successful, and as far as evolution and life goes, being successful is probably priority number one, right?
Yeah.
Well, you get to riff now while I get some new paint.
Oh,
water,
okay.
Because
Very
I didn't
neat.
have a chance to get rid of my delicious chocolate milk.
Your delicious coffee.
Don't drink it. I know people have.
No, they're the colors. The Aussie dude, I know him. Anthony says so, or know him as in personally, or just the YouTuber. All right, Cory, riff time. I'm never good at this. You can't have a Kleekai. I don't like the name. I don't like the name of that dog. It's a terrible dog name. You guys want to see a little spoiler? A little tiny spoiler that Scott has been painting for me. Look. Oh. Okay. All right. I know it was quick. I hope you saw it. If not, I'll show it one more time. Oh, look at this. What is this? You'll have to see. This is going to be coming out in a future episode here. But I was super happy that he was able to paint that for me pretty quickly. And it looks so good. Honestly, I'm drawing a blank here. Scott did so much better at riffing than I do. If this was a rap battle, he would win. I would say, what do you guys like best about D&D? Do you like combat better? Do you guys like roleplay, puzzles, that sort of thing? Personally, I'm a big fan of the roleplay side of it. I enjoy like characterization. Like I think the first episode that we did with Scott's campaign, we spent the entire time talking to people and eating food, and I thought it was fantastic. So that's one of my favorite things. And I do like non-situational games, but as far as DMing, I really like making dungeons and puzzles and everything. Now it's Cory's turn to rip off some medium bars. Go for it, Seaman. No, I don't. I don't even try to rap. That's not for me. I enjoy playing pretend and not being weird for it. Yes, that is exactly the best part about
It's a weird thing to come back
D&D.
to.
Yep.
Playing pretend.
I'm much worse at riffing than you are.
I don't know about that.
You win. I have a hard time playing. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, some of us are here for other reasons, right? So if you're not here for D&D, that's fine. But it can be nerve-wracking to roleplay if you haven't done it a lot before, especially with a new group. Yeah.
Well, and I think a lot of people...
And I mean, done it before as in, like, with a group of a bunch of people like you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think a lot of people, too, get kind of caught up in the whole... if I'm not as good as Critical Role or D20 or whatever, then I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
When in reality, like, you just need to try a little bit, you know? And some people just don't do that. A lot of times it takes time to get comfortable.
And some people think that they have to be, like, super entertaining for the rest of the group, but you don't.
No.
All you have to be is just play the character that you want to play.
Yeah, as long as you're not mean, you know, like as long as your character's not rude against the rest of the group, whatever. So.
I couldn't think of anything to do, so I gave them a little spoiler for
Of that.
of that. Yeah.
Cory.
I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. I didn't show them the full thing. I just showed them little bits of it. So.
Okay, the rod. Let's give him a paint job.
You can't say that on chat, Casey.
A very quiet.
That's saved forever now. Now people know that we
The
like to
internet knows
roleplay.
Gross.
Not like that. Casey actually helps me come up with a lot of different plot points for my stories. in fact, like one of the books that I need to write for the superhero universe is pretty much written. It's just written in broad strokes, thanks to the stories that we've gone back and forth on and kind of input together.
Yeah.
So she helped me come up with the main character for that. She basically took the role of the main character for the story and reacted to things, and we kind of like
it all out.
helped flesh it all out and everything. That's it, Scott. Just try. Just try. Just try.
Just try.
Just try.
I am just trying.
Yeah. So it's I have very lofty goals as far as writing goes.
Yeah. I think that's okay.
But
it's okay to have good goals.
It's I need to like focus in a little bit more. Because every time that I like start writing something, I'm like, oh yeah, but I should also write this one as well, and then I'll start writing that, and I'll forget about the first one. I just need to pick something and spend time doing it. It's just I don't have time to like dedicate to it.
Yeah.
Because I can't do that while I'm at work. That's even if I'm at like a slow time in work, I can't dedicate time to writing because I'm going to be interrupted by a phone call, or I'm going to feel like I'm slacking off at work, and that's no fun. Like I get really anxious when I don't actually work at work, right? If there's work to be done and I'm like taking even just like a 5 minutes to do something else, like write something down really quick,
I
it
agree.
makes me like
I do agree,
a little like nervous. Yeah.
I do agree. I wish I could do more non-work related stuff at work, but unfortunately, you know, it pays the bills and it's gotta keep the lights on, that kind of thing. So,
Yep.
But I still think, you know, we need to focus on.
What we really need is a good sugar daddy.
Yeah.
You need to become warlocks for some good
Yeah.
patron.
We'll be warlocks for someone.
Yep. But we don't want like powers.
No sex stuff. That's extra.
A little bit's okay. For me.
I can do moose stuff.
Moose stuff, yes.
What's moose stuff? I don't know. Go stand by the tree, drink from the lake, have sex with you. Moose stuff.
These streams truly are unhinged.
Yes, they are. This is our unsaga.
Yep. Oh, don't talk to me about the Unsaga. The Unfinity previews that they've been doing are so fun, and I cannot wait. I need to get some money squared away so that I can get a booster box of it, because I love the aesthetic that they've got going for that.
Agreed.
What kind of work do y'all do? Brian asks. I work as a support representative for life insurance software. So nothing too fancy, just kind of like basic support for it. And Scott,
I am a system administrator for a transit agency.
which is really cool when you say it like that. Like
I know. Why do you think
Why
do you think it's on my signature and my email?
I kind of feel like I'm dealing with one of the Men in Black when you say that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're part of the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the bad part of the government, the worst part.
Is there a good part of the government?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Some social programs maybe.
Yeah,
helping
probably.
people out, yeah. Yeah, basically that's I spend 8 hours a day. I work from home full time, so it makes it a little easier when I have to it gives me a little bit more time in the day to do things, because I can get off work right at 3 and then just turn to my computer on the right and start typing away at the game.
Yeah, I work from the office 3 days a week, and then 2 days work from home. I spend most of my days dealing with server infrastructure, fielding requests for new servers and changes and fixes and things like that. It's not as glamorous as it sounds. Not that IT work is glamorous, though.
Ooh, using a sorcerer to twin spell polymorph.
Oh,
To hit 2 people at once.
I like it.
Turn you into a T-Rex and them into a goat. Play the Jurassic Park right, I suppose.
Can you? You can twin spell. Can you twin spell 2 enemies too?
Yeah, technically you could. Twin spell just lets you pick a second target.
I would also. It'd also be cool. Like, oh no, my barbarian's almost dead. Nope, he's a polar bear. Or whatever.
Yep, and that's a great use of polymorph in my opinion.
It doesn't get used like that hardly at all.
No, people use it to try and trap somebody down, or just to initiate a fight by turning somebody into a T-Rex or something large, right? But it's basically a full heal, right? Because you can turn a creature. So with polymorph, you can do a CR of your level or lower.
Yeah.
A beast that I think you have to have seen it, or maybe polymorph doesn't have that restriction. But being able to like take somebody and give them like 300 health instantly, and the exchange is that they just have to use a monster stat block for a while. Like,
yeah,
that's completely fine.
Especially if they're like the distraction too.
Yep.
You know, that's a great way to do that.
I remember the party casting polymorph on the gnome and turning them into a T-Rex, and then casting greater invisibility on the T-Rex and sending it into.
Preston.
Yeah, it was the fight where you guys fought against Resmir in the Cloud Fortress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was Preston getting turned into T-Rex, polymorph, not polymorph, greater invisibility, and then he spent the time chewing on Resmir and shaking her around, and basically trivializing that fight, which I thought was great.
Yeah, it was a good use of that.
Double great apes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is a grade 8? What's their stat block like?
Oh, let's take a look here.
I asked like you know off the top of your head. Don't you?
Don't you
Mr.
know the
GM?
monster? Don't you know the monster manual,
Don't you know
right?
the monster manual from heart.
Let's see. I gotta open up another new tab. So I have so many that are set for books that I'm reading through or want to read through. Again.
What color is this guy's hair?
I think
And
I just
beard?
went with. I don't think I did any specific color for it, if I remember correctly.
That's why I'm asking you.
So
now.
let's do. He's a bit of a wild child. Let's give him some red hair.
All right, cool.
Let's do a red beard. Redbeard the pirate. I don't like the beast keyword. Where's our monstrosity druid and our monstrous polymorph? Exactly.
Yes,
They get
monstrosities are the best.
They get to do it in the D&D movie.
I know.
They get to be an owl bear.
Yeah, I love monstrosities. They're my favorite creature type. My favorite creature though, Boulette.
Well,
It is the monstrosity, but yep. It's my
so
favorite.
there's no
unless
grade 8.
Unless grade ape is a human.
Yeah.
A regular.
It's just a human. I polymorph you into
I
it.
polymorph you into a human barbarian stat block. Have fun. Grade ape.
It saved our party in the final battle of the campaign. I did it 3 times, put up over 900 hit points on the map. So a giant ape has a challenge rating of 7. It's a huge beast. It has 157 hit points.
Nice.
Armor class of 12, so it's a big bag of hit points with a little armor. 2 fist attacks at +9 to hit, and 3d10 plus 6 damage. And then they have a +9 to hit ranged attack that does 7d6 bludgeoning damage. A rock.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, but you can only do the multi-attack with the fists. I'm assuming, yep, that is the right one. Yep.
I would flavor that and be like, I transform into a Gorillion. Because I love...
Monstrosity.
No.
I know.
As a flavor.
Yeah, but that's a monstrosity.
It looks like a Gorillion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is actually weaker than the giant ape.
Yeah. I love them, though. I like the forearms.
The Grillion is only a challenge rating for 1... Although its multi-attack is 1 bite and 4 claw attacks.
Yeah.
+6 to hit, and then 1d6 +4 for each of them. And then as a bonus action, it can move up to its speed towards a hostile creature that it can see. Ooh, I like these guys.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to throw some in there. You're gonna have to make some Grillions.
I already purchased some really cool ones a long time ago when I was looking at monstrosities.
Hey, Joe, welcome to the party.
Hey,
Doesn't matter if
welcome.
you're late.
Yeah, you can always go back and watch it over at the end.
Yeah,
No big deal. We just rambled about random stuff.
it's true, like we always do.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, can you believe that it's already been an hour and a half?
No.
Like we just
I
we just barely started on the new mini. You finished the worm tonight and just barely started on the new mini, and it's been an hour and a half.
All right, what do you want for his hair? I always love that one.
Ooh, like an orange.
That one's not bad. It's a little dark though.
I like the orange one.
Yeah.
That kind of like that. Yeah, that one.
Greyhound orange. Okay. That be the one I'm gonna do then.
Let's see if
I was
anybody
looking
else.
at the new contrast
paint line, they added another like 15 contrast paints, and now
Wow.
I'm like, they're all really cool. I need to.
Yeah, that's going to be expensive, and you just bought a new computer. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hold off on that for a little bit. Just use what I got, I guess. What were we talking about before?
Throwing delirium stones, they explode for 10d6. Wild magic happens. Ooh, so here's something that my parties that I run for, specifically the group that I've been currently running for, don't do a lot, and that's magic item creation. Whether it's potion making, spell scrolls, or like making a wand or something specific, like you guys are pretty much like whatever you give us is fine, and we'll just continue on. Like I want a little bit more ingenuity, but I know that it's not for everybody. Oh wow, jeez, giving me the hiccups. Here.
So that's one thing that I think is kind of lacking as an artificer. I feel like there's not. I don't know. I feel like 5e doesn't have a good enough system for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they tried to give you like magic item creation through infusions, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, okay,
but
I
then it's
infuse one thing and then I just keep it infused, right?
Yeah.
I don't constantly change my infusions, and I can only have so many patterns learned, right?
You can have like 4 at a time up until like level 16, and then it's 6 at a time or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love. So I played that dwarf artificer, the artillerist, and that was pretty close to coming up with extra stuff. But even that had some limits, I think. Yeah, I do wish there's. And you know what? There are 5e supplements out there that will let you full on make whatever artifact or item you want, and we just don't use them.
Yep. I've been trying to break my players of the thought of it doesn't exist, I can't have it. No, let's homebrew and worry about balance later. Exactly. If you want something, bring it to my attention, and I will try and get it for you.
I think
Bosco, have a good one. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good night. I know you have to have a group that is all in on it, right? Because if you have one person that wants to homebrew a bunch of stuff, and they do, and then everyone else is like, well, I don't care about that stuff, but then they get mad because that person's overpowered now because they have a whole bunch of cool new items. Like everyone has to be in on it.
Yeah, you have to have kind of a balance
your
there.
Party has to be cool with it.
Mr. Gideon, welcome. Or Geoton, sorry. Geoton. He says, this is great. I can watch you paint your minis while I make mine on Hero Forge.
Yeah.
I'm playing a Mark of Warding Dwarf Abjuration Wizard in a Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign.
Oh.
Every word of that sentence is fantastic.
I was going to say, I don't see dwarves as spellcasters very often unless it's clerics.
I love it.
Yeah.
And so, Mark of Warding, Dwarf, Abjuration Wizard. Like, Abjuration is my favorite magic type, I think.
This guy's got such a long beard. It goes all the way down around his leg.
Like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Like, I enjoy Transmutation for, like, polymorph shenanigans and stuff. Yeah. But Abjuration is, like, warding and protecting and shielding, that kind of thing. Which is very much my thing. I'm a Blue Lantern at heart. So, like, healing and protection are my jam. And I want to play Wild Beyond the Witchlight because it starts out with like a carnival. There's like a lot of really cool Fae stuff in it. Like it sounds really fun. And yeah, I'm glad that you can join us while you're making yours on Hero Forge. Don't forget to give him a scar, or not. It's up to you.
Scar? Why? Is that a dwarf thing?
Yes, scars? All dwarves need to have scars. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's like a rite of passage for them.
Okay.
Yep.
Where's Durrell? Let's see. Does Durrell have scars somewhere?
No. Actually, you could do like a little like paler skin on like the arm, on the bicep or something.
Yeah, I could do like a...
Yeah. I'll do the classic like cross scar.
Yeah.
Where it's...
that's the classic like drawing a scar in a big X.
Yeah, Brian Colby made an abjuration tank, and in fact, Tori played that character in the 10K. Mm-hmm. Her Warforged Helga was the abjuration tank, and pretty beefy.
Yes,
pretty beefy.
Bolt has a little bit.
My divine sorcerer is a dwarf. You know what? We have a lot of good dwarves in here. Rock and Stone, people. Is that what it is? Rock and Stone? Ooh, I hope I got that right. It's a Deep Rock Galactic saying that people have been
I know
shouting.
Bolt has a little bit of abjuration tank. Not abjuration tank, but like there's like an armor part of it, and they have a lot of overlap as far as like spells and abilities go.
Yeah. Yep, it is Rock and Stone. Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot when people are talking about dwarves. They'll just start shouting Rock and Stone because Deep Rock Galactic
Diggy
is
diggy hole!
pretty awesome. Yeah, it is. It's kind of the new Diggy Diggy Hole. Armor of Agathis with temporary HP. I'm mostly focused on protecting my friends. I will for sure give him a scar. Yes, got him, coach.
I played a dwarf cleric
Mm-hmm.
who was a pacifist,
Yep.
and my entire kit was nothing but healing and tanking,
I
taking damage and
I remember Dallin getting frustrated on the first game because you walked up to this door where there were these like, they were like ghouls or something that were trying to break out and attack us, and you just planted your giant tower shield in the front and stood in the only space in the doorway so that they couldn't get out, and they couldn't hurt you either because you had like a 24 AC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think by the end of that I had like a 26 or something. It was massive.
Yep. I also played a dwarf in that campaign.
Yep.
In fact, you can see a little bit of that with the Bronze Battalion games that we did, the off games. There was like a 2-parter that came out. Yeah, we were brothers, Durgan and Turgan. Both used to be in the military, but only one of them still like considers himself a sergeant. The other one's just like a cleric now.
Yeah, I was a cleric of Eldath.
Yeah. Yeah, Dallin had to have the ghouls go through the side windows eventually, and I don't know if he ever mentioned side windows to begin with in that building, or if he added them. Yep.
Well, I know since I was in the way, Colby had to go over and use spells through the window because he was a blade singer.
Yep, he was a blade singer, and he had to use ranged attacks through the window. Which
I didn't play a pacifist the whole time.
Mm-mm.
Because it did get to the point where there's not a lot of non-fighty stuff you can do.
Yeah.
And I worked it out.
Like you can bless and...
Yeah, I worked it out that my goddess was like, hey, you can go ahead and attack things. And basically she did tell me that if they were undead or constructs, you're free to go ahead and crack some heads.
If dwarf is the most favored race, what would be the least? Centaurs? You won't hear that from me. I love centaurs. I love anything that is like half man, half animal is like awesome for me. Minotaurs are amazing. Centaurs, fawns, satyrs, any sort of animal hybrid like Leonin, Loxodon.
I do love
Tabaxi.
Animal people as
well. Those are all amazing. Obviously, like most of the custom races that I've come up with are like, it's a person, but it's also a shark. It's a person, but it's also an axolotl.
Yep.
Like, those are great. I would say the least favored race.
Human. Besides variant.
Yeah, I mean...
Because that's variant human people don't play it because
that's the one that
race.
People don't... Yeah.
They play it because of the feat.
Yeah, I would say that would probably be the least played race. For me, I think the race that I enjoy the least... Oh, jeez, this is really hard to say.
Elf.
Yeah, I think elf. Like, I like the concept of elves, but I never saw myself as an elf, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never looked on elves and I was like, oh yeah, I want to embody that majesty. I was like, no, I'm down in the dirt. I'm a frickin' dwarf, like, and so I guess the hatred kind of traveled over there too when it developed. So in 3 years, there will be a breeding pink fluffy French bulldogs worth like 20K. I'll give you guys one you can make up the 10K or 100K in a litter. Wow. I have not ever thought about getting into dog breeding before. That is... I
wonder how much work that is.
Oh, it's
obviously
a lot of work.
You don't do the main part of the work. The dogs do that part, but like it's puppies,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too excited about the idea of like dog breeding myself.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I'm against it or anything. That's fine, but it's one of those things where it's just like, that seems like work that I don't want to do. I would say, yeah, what is your guys' most favorite race and least favorite race in D&D? I want to hear these answers. I'm trying to think of any other race other than, I'm not too big of a fan of furbolgs.
Really?
Yeah, they're a little bit fine, but they just feel like they just felt like somebody wanted to be Minotaur, but they wanted to make them fluffier, right? And that was the whole point of
they wanted to be,
Furbolgs. And so
a
they,
hornless cow.
yeah, so they kind of just went. And I don't know if you've seen. There's been a huge controversy about the Minotaur in the Monsters of the Multiverse race guide.
No,
So-
really?
Minotaurs in D&D are, you know, like they're depicted in the monster manual as the big beefy kind, right? That and even in the Ravnica book that had them, they had like these big like warrior-esque looking ones. And I'm gonna show you in the multiverse of
Are they
monsters.
Skinny and scrawny?
I'll show you. Don't you worry, you'll see. My dad and brother are breeders. I'm getting into it. It's wonderful. Awesome.
You know what? That also seems like a thing that if you love dogs and you love puppies, I think that's a great thing for someone to work on.
Finally, a Friday night where I'm not working on the house. Family is on vacation at Lake Tenkiller this weekend. Tenkiller. Ooh, interesting. Finally,
Was there 10 deaths there? Is
yeah.
that why?
Mm-hmm. they filmed 10 Jason movies there.
Oh, nice.
Finally get to relax a little. I'll be watching this later this week. Awesome. It can replace your full-time job with a few hours a day and only a few weeks of constant care. It's not too bad for sure.
Don't tell Casey.
Oh, she's
Sorry,
already
Casey,
listening.
There's no room for a bunch of dogs.
All right,
the house
let's
is too
see.
small.
I'm trying to see if there's any other ones while I'm going down the list.
What's your favorite underutilized race?
Changeling.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of people playing changelings as a race, and I think it's typically like game masters discourage it probably
Yeah.
because you literally get like the ability to change your face. But I think it's a really cool. Race. Also, the Gith, any of the Gith, Zeri, Githyanki,
The GIF indeed.
the Gith, yeah.
My favorite race, and this is kind of newish. The like slimoid ones. The slime ones.
Oh yeah, the plasmoids.
Yeah, plasmoids. I want to see more of that.
Here is the Minotaur from the Monsters of the Multiverse guide.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more.
I mean, that looks fine
I'll
to
put
me.
it up as much as possible here, but it's a little bit like more just like cow-like and a little bit gentler than Minotaurs that you've seen before.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like okay, I guess that's something, you know.
I like it.
I'm trying to see if there's any other things in here.
I know that like the hulking brute minotaur is cool too, but you know that doesn't always have to be.
I
that way.
think you don't see a lot of Kenku either because most of the time people are turned off out by the idea of not being able to like speak properly and having to do like
So I played a Kenku.
yeah, turtles. Yep, turtles are.
Yeah, I played a Kenku, and I just basically, you know, I said I can talk normally, but just imagine that everything I say comes out as other people's voices, just randomly, like I'm mixing and matching and stuff.
Mm.
You know, and
I told you my idea, where I wanted to get together like a small little soundboard for a recorded game with the Kenku, and have like a few choice things in different accents that I do for like choice words, and then after that first session, grab phrases that the party has said and add them to the soundboard. So the next session,
ever growing like list of.
So the next session, I could be like, he says this, and it's in like another one of the characters' voices. Like I think that would be really cool.
Oh, that'd be wild. That'd be a lot of work, but it'd be really cool.
Most favorite is Heron, says Dr. Geotin.
Oh yeah.
Don't really have a least favorite. However, unpopular opinion: goblins are overrated. I kind of agree.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that really like goblins, right?
agree.
But I do also like my little goblin boys. They were actually my first fantasy race love.
Oh yeah.
Not love, but like favorite, right?
Yeah.
When we were playing Magic and I had the goblin deck, like
Yeah.
I used to love like the idea of like the swarming goblins and everything. I really like orcs. I like orcs a lot more than I used to. It's weird because like
And see, I'm still indifferent about orcs. I couldn't care less about them really.
it's just they feel like a really like, and it's not the bloodthirsty orcs that I like. It's the strength and honor type, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Warcraft 3 orcs when they're
Klingons.
No, not the Klingons.
Orcs.
I don't want a race of bards. Thank you very much.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Don't lie. Everyone wants a race of bards.
That's true. I've been wanting to do a campaign where the party is orc, goblin, hobgoblin, or bugbear.
A big goblinoid.
Yep, a big goblinoid. Maybe throw it, like I said, maybe throw in the orcs as well. But just do that as like here are the races that you can pick from, and you cannot be like paladins or clerics unless it's to like a dark god or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And basically do like a monster versus human campaign.
Cory, guess what? I've been playing a changeling this whole time. They've just been changed into a Warforged.
It's love, Cory. We also feel that way.
Yeah, you can say first love. That's fine. It doesn't have to be a romantic thing. It can just be oh man, I love these because they're cool, you know.
Yeah. Turtles with the shield and shield of faith and the shield spell have a 26 AC.
Yeah.
Pretty powerful. I played a turtle.
Yes,
I was very
a divination wizard.
I played a divination wizard named Wise Yori. He was old. He was far older than turtles were supposed to live.
I hate that.
They only live for 50 years.
That bugs me so bad.
Yeah.
They're a turtle. Let them live a long time.
Yep. It was a very odd choice for wizards to be like, oh yeah, well they're like fighters and they were going more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle style rather than
Yeah, we don't know how old the teenagers
rather than
they've been perpetually
Oogway.
teenagers. Yeah.
But I really enjoyed playing Yori. He was very old, very chill, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it actually came about because my first character died. Not in our campaign, but in Preston's campaign. When Roland, my young paladin, died.
The only time you had a character death in campaign, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, the only time that I've ever experienced a character death
Preston
myself.
was good at killing off characters.
He was good. Well, it was the rest of the party that killed me because they had the opportunity to send me out a word of healing, but nobody did.
Oh, well, yeah, that was nice of them.
No, it was just so there were a lot of new players.
They wanted to get. They were trying to get
Yep.
you out of the group.
Maybe that could have been it.
If he dies, maybe.
Yep. The rest of them were friends, and I was just
You were just.
just tagging along.
You weren't Preston's friend at all.
But yeah, with the next game, while they were going to raise Roland, I played Wise Yori, who kind of wandered in and was like, I thought I'd help around here, you know? Thought I got a vision.
Fate had me come here.
I didn't like goblinoids until I heard of Jim Davis' spin on them. They start as goblins, and as they age, they become hobgoblins and age even more into bugbears. Interesting concept.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. That's not bad. I like that. I do like the idea of like the 3 distinct goblinoid races that are all basically like made by Magubulet just for fighting off Grunt.
What? Magubu what?
The god of goblins, Magubulet.
You're making that up.
No, that is actually the name.
You just made up that name.
No,
That's not
I will. I'll pull it up. I will pull it up here.
What?
D&D. Wait. One of the trending things was U of U nuclear reactor? College nuclear reactor? What? Yeah, I lost it. D&D, God.
Doesn't matter. We're
goblins.
fairly close to that. Doesn't matter if it goes down or something.
Yep, Magubliet.
That pose.
Yeah, yeah. This looks kind of like the goblin that the eyes, you know, the statue with the gemstone eyes that's very popular. That's very synonymous with D&D.
Don't know what that is either.
Hang on.
He's coming up with all kinds of weird stuff today.
The articles about fire eyes. Fiery eyes is another name for, also known as the Mighty One or the High Chieftain. It was the chief deity of goblins, hobgoblins, and decanter goblins, which I'm assuming he was an exarch of Bane, which is the god of murder.
Okay.
I believe.
So you think the goblins are on your side?
Quasi deity, Faerun. Is Bane murder? Or was he hate?
Batman,
Oh, he was hate. No, murder is...
bad.
Yeah, murder is bad. We'll just say that.
Murder's bad.
Murder is bad, okay. No, that's not the case, Cory. You're a sweetheart. What? What did I say I wasn't? Every okay? A girl threatened to activate it if the U is lost. Oh, that's what the U of U nuclear reactor was. Yeah, I bet she's in trouble now.
I mean, I I will threaten to activate this reactor and provide power to my city. That doesn't sound like a very villainous threat to me.
It is this statue. Oh, that's the eyes of Moloch.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
not. That is not Megubulet.
Moloch
That's Moloch.
from Watchmen.
Yes. Who? It's a demon, apparently. One of the most enduring and iconic images from the history of D&D is Trampier's cover for the first edition AD&D Player Handbook. You know the one. Orange demon idol with the thieves prying out the gigantic gem eyes while the other party members stand amid the bodies of dead lizardmen. Yep, that's the one. You should watch Mr. Rex on YouTube. He has great knowledge for the game and gives me so many inspirational ideas for campaign ideas and battles. You know what? For as much as
I think I watch more.
I
D&D
get you. I get you now,
than do.
Anthony. Thank you. Yeah, for as much like D&D content that I do, and how much like I call myself the Grand Poobah, you know, or I get called the Grand Poobah by everybody else when it comes to D&D knowledge. It's like there's a lot that I don't know, and I'll listen to somebody's everything that you need to know about dragons, and I'll listen to it and I'll be like, oh, there's a lot of cool stuff about dragons that I never knew.
I like
in
when
D&D
people
lore.
pull from all the different lore too,
Yeah.
like all the different editions and stuff.
Yeah, very cool. Yep, Megubula is one of my favorite D&D gods to say though. Like,
I like Floral Naggin.
Floral Naggin. Yep.
Yeah. Floral Naggin. He's a lot of fun. He's just a fun guy. He's just a fun guy. He's not a fun guy, but he's a fun guy.
I like the idea that there's some girl that is just like, she loves the Utes so much that she's like, I'm going to become a fucking supervillain. Oh, this is the stream where we get to say the F word, apparently. Apologies if anybody has sensitive ears.
I did.
You did? We did.
A while ago.
Was it while I was upstairs?
No.
Oh, okay.
You were here.
Okay, well, fine.
PG-13 adjacent.
Yep.
We had a PG-13 rating once with mine, and now you ruined it.
Yeah, that's
Now we
true.
don't rate
Yep,
anything.
we're going to have to bleep that out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
After the fact, nah.
Yeah. No, we're past the first 5 minutes. YouTube doesn't care.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't give a shit after that.
They don't give up. We won't push it. No, we try and keep the videos PG-13 because
Doesn't always happen.
yeah,
But
there are some people who watch with their kids and you know, like we've had a couple commenters that say that they watch with their kids and whatnot, and their kids like us too, and we don't really like the idea of alienating somebody just by using harsh language or more. I mean, I'm far more graphic than I probably should be with descriptions of like decapitations and stuff like that, but I'm assuming that it's just
we're in America. We don't care about.
that's
we
true.
don't care about
Violence is okay. Swears and sex are not.
Yep.
That's
Nipples.
yep.
Nipples are bad.
Mhm. Yep. Can't show a nipple. You can show somebody being eviscerated and still get a PG-13 rating though.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, that's the first time I've ever slipped on this stream.
That's okay.
But yeah, that's fine.
That's
good.
okay, Cory.
We're good. Yeah, Anthony
We
says it's
forgive
okay.
you.
Anthony says it's okay, and he's our sugar daddy.
Yeah.
He's our patron.
Oh, we're on Patreon.
We've thought about a Patreon.
Yeah.
Or like setting up the channel member stuff.
Yeah. The only issue is just finding time to do all the extra stuff.
Yeah, you would have to do extra content for it or something. So, and that takes a little bit of effort.
We would have to get ahead. I think the best extra content would be like a day early or 2 days early.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, release stuff.
Yep.
I think that would be the best content.
Everyone likes the video. It takes a second if you don't mind. No, thank you very much, Anthony. That's right. Like the video if you haven't already, or like the VOD once it comes out. He's let his guard down. Go for the kill strike. It's true. I'm no longer like I no longer have my defenses up. It's time to go right up to the reactor core. It's only a 2-meter wide tube though.
That's
Wait,
fine.
that's actually really large.
I used to murder womp rats back home for that. We're just gonna skip past this guy talking about murdering animals? Wow. Alright,
A
whatever.
little bit of a serial killer vibe, but that's okay. You gotta get rid of that pent up frustration. I mean, it is Tatooine. There's not a lot going on, especially for Luke, who was basically sheltered by his aunt and uncle the entire time because they didn't want him getting discovered, right?
Yeah.
And we got a little bit more of that in Obi-Wan than I was expecting, because I was just expecting like Obi-Wan and then he saw Luke once or twice and then moved on, right? Which was kind of the case, but we also got like a little bit of like Uncle Owen is very caring for him and very much wants to keep him away from
Keep him safe, yeah.
keep him safe and everything, which you don't get a lot of that. In fact, in like the first Star Wars, you don't really care about Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. You just think that they're a hindrance to the call to action, right?
Yeah.
Which they kind of are. That is their role.
Yeah, keep him safe.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let him get around Vader. Yeah.
Yep. But there was a lot, like I hear there was that one scene in Tosche Station that was that with Luke's friends talking about joining the Empire or things like that and everything, and it was like that kind of stuff would have established his character a little bit more as I'm doing this, I'm moving on. But at the same time, you'd kind of go, well, he's just abandoning all the rest of his friends. Shouldn't he want to like ask them to come with him or something?
Yeah.
Lads, you need to get a P.O. box, and I'll send you Irish goodies.
We got one.
Yep.
It's actually on our YouTube channel in the About section. If you go to the main page,
Yep.
We do have P.O. Box in there.
Maybe even some silver. I mean, if you have like a spare silver lying around, I guess. Yeah, well, no, we'd appreciate that.
I'll take some Irish goodies.
Yeah.
Yum yum.
Mm-hmm.
I am not one to turn down treats, obviously.
That's true, yeah. We actually had our first pseudo sponsor
Yeah, on this last episode.
on this last episode that we recorded, so
We
you'll
sold
see that in
out.
the coming. Oh no! But it was frankly hilarious in my opinion, and you'll see why once we get to that episode. But it's one of those. It was one of those serendipity things that happened, and I was just like, I can't believe that we managed to have this on this exact session kind of thing. Like it was great. It was especially great because we needed to use it too.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we always do appreciate anything that you guys like to send over. We like showing off all the cool stuff that you guys create around the game. Like, it'd be so nice. Like my favorite thing is the fan art. Anytime somebody does fan art for us, like Bosco did the bolt for
Which
you, and
you
we
can't
have
see, but I've got it hanging up right behind me in our games.
in the game. Yeah,
The camera's just a tad bit too low to see it. So, but it's there.
the sponsor was monthly minis.
Monthly's minis.
Monthly's minis.
Minis monthly. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
one of the two. They sponsored Colby's videos, and they sent him a goodie box of minis, like one of the grab boxes for their month of minis, and we showed it off on stream as part of. Again, it's like a pseudo sponsorship for us, right? Because I think that the whole sponsorship was they sent goodies instead of like paying for them.
Yeah.
Or paying for the ad space for Colby, but we're more than happy to accept a box of minis.
Yeah.
Like
well,
that's
we ended
awesome.
up using them that night too, because Cory had some stuff planned that involved them.
Butch Cassidy Kennels could sponsor. How does it work? How much would we need to pay? Send an email to the Tales of Aneria.
Yeah, Aneria at
Yeah,
gmail.com.
if you want to. That's I mean, I'm not sure that there's much crossover in the audience between the two of us, but we'd be happy to talk to you about it. That'd be great. Scott, it's 9:00.
We can go a little bit. We were already a little late.
That's true. We were a little late getting
We're
started.
going to give everyone their full 2 hours. How about
Excellent.
that?
Perfect. We are on. I don't even know how much we're on here.
Go to 9:10.
9:10. Perfect.
Ish, yeah.
You're just caught up in painting. You want to show us what you're painting?
Yeah, sure.
What you've got there? Okay. All right. He's looking good. Getting the pants done. Getting a little bit of green in there. He's got his Fist of Tebigong on.
That's the Vi Fist.
Yeah, it could be the Vi Fist too. Oh, it's all blurry now. That's
It
a fine. We'll just switch over to the live.
does not like.
No,
when
it
I do
doesn't.
that.
Nope. It does not. Great Dwarf. Yes. Bonk. Yeah, mine was a Xiaolin Showdown reference.
Oh, okay.
But yes, that is kind of like the Vi Fist, for sure. I tried to get Casey to watch Arcane. She watched the first episode, and I haven't been able to get her to watch any more of it, but hopefully soon. The problem is that, like, I want her to see starting from episode 3, because that's that's where it gets really good, in my
Casey,
opinion.
watch it.
But you have to watch the first 3 episodes, you know.
Yeah.
I will do anything for you guys to be successful. Anything. Love you guys. You're the nicest brothers in town. It's true. Nobody is nicer than we are, and nobody is more humble than we are.
Right, we are so freaking humble.
Yeah, I know it probably won't happen. And that's okay. Not everybody watches everything. That's fine. I don't watch your horror movies. You don't watch your horror movies. I was horror. But yeah, we do appreciate, like, honestly, Anthony, you do a lot for us already. We really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, we also would love to be successful. My favorite thing about this whole venture is just being able to meet with everyone in the community and talk about stuff that we all like together and just shoot the shit and enjoy it.
Yep.
That's my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah. I kind of wish that our podcast that we did a while back was successful enough that we could have done things like this. I think the problem was, like, nobody wants to hear just another geek news podcast.
Yeah.
There's so many of them out there already.
We were a little late on that one.
Yep, we were a little we missed the train a little bit, so.
We also we started it too back when podcasts were not free to host anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Everything was really expensive and we didn't have any money to put into that. And so, yeah, we kind of failed on that part.
Honestly, the next step, what would really help us, like, expand, is advertising of our own. Mm-hmm. Advertising on some other smaller D&D channels, you know, either on, like, you know, like not the dungeon, well, kind of the Dungeon Dudes or Treant Monks stuff, and kind of like just taking a little advertising space there. Maybe Dingo
Doodles.
Yeah.
We also just need to do, like, advertising on, like, Facebook and stuff.
Honestly, like, that's my biggest regret is I'm not good at networking.
The social media stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really good at that part of it, and I want to, like, people like Joe Cat and people like Dingo and Jenny. Like, I would absolutely love to have, like, even just like a friendly relationship with them. Mm-hmm. Just being like, just, hey, you know, like, I'm a regular or something like that. And I've wanted to be like a regular on some, like, Twitch streams or something, even like maybe like a mod or something. But it's like, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work to establish yourself as I'm somebody who's always here.
I don't know. Look, we got Bosco, we got Anthony.
Yeah,
we see the same people all the time, and that's
exactly.
All it takes is it just has to show up.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is, like, I think I have too many, like, friends and commitments already, and it's hard for me to be like,
oh, look at me, mister, I have too many friends.
Well, a human can only have so many before they start, like, deteriorating mentally, right?
Sure.
Then know that there is a study about that.
Oh, I know. I'm just teasing you, because most people are low on the friend list, or low on the amount of friends.
Like the nods to Anthony and Bosco in the first episode, so did I. I think they were great. And I do have plans to give more people the opportunity to cameo in our games in the future. That's another video that I need to work on. I totally forgot about that until just now. Thank you for the reminder, Joe. Yes, and networking does suck.
Yeah, I know. I hate it. But you know what? Once you learn how to TCP/IP and set your subnets and stuff, it's not that big of a deal.
You guys need to keep trying and don't give up. For sure, I'll pay for your ad space with the Dungeon Dudes and Ginny. Well, you already are, technically, with your donations.
Yeah, well, all that money is going
that money is going into the channel. So
yeah, I think the first thing we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out how to get better cameras and a little bit better microphone setup. Because the stuff we have now, but I have to do a lot of tweaking, a lot of constant work to keep it the quality to the point where it's actually listenable and watchable.
Yeah. Brian says, "Damn it, Scott," with no other context.
Damn it.
Because we're on a delay, so I'm not sure exactly what he's saying damn it for. We've been jumping around between topics.
Yeah.
Anthony, is Brian your actual brother? Is this who you're talking about that has a YouTube channel and keeps shouting us out? Because if so, I want to shout out his YouTube channel as well. We need to do, like, I'd love to do a little bit of advertising on, like, the D&D Reddit and everything, too, just because, like, it'd be nice. And toting a whole, like, 50 episodes under our belt now is, like, hey, we've got a good campaign.
Yeah.
I think the biggest push is when we start the next campaign with all new characters starting at level whatever we start at, which will probably be, like, 3. I think we'll skip the level 1 and 2. things.
Yeah, it's tough. unless you make the decision up front.
His networking joke. He was saying "damn it" to your networking joke, which I missed completely. I'll have to go back and watch it. Wanted to send you cameras and gear also. I completely forgot. I think it was Brian who asked what kind of cameras and microphones we used. That was a while back.
Yeah, so we have 4 Logitech webcams. They are the C920 920s with 1080p, 30 FPS. They're okay. They do have focus problems, as you can see. This one sometimes, I have one here.
Yeah.
Sometimes has issues focusing. We run
It was Brian.
Newer, Neweer. That's the brand name. They make a lot of like really cheap microphones and other equipment. Some of the lights that are on us are they're like $14 a piece type of thing. But we run their microphones and they're shotgun mics, so they're long. Skinny ones that are like usually held on a boom.
Yep.
But we've got them kind of positioned above us.
Yep. So we have a nice rig. We'll need to do the
I
walk-around
need to
video.
do a walk around behind the scenes stuff, maybe before and after, because I'm going to upgrade it. But
we hang them up on a rig. We've got all the cameras set up on there as well. So, and then but we've got most of them are one specific, like a kind of like a $20 shotgun.
They're $30.
$30 a piece.
Yeah.
And then we have one.
Cory's is like $250. It's
that we were trying out to see if it was
a
better.
Audio Technica. Can't remember the model number off the top of my head. I have to go look at it.
Might be a little logistically difficult, but having the Dungeon Dudes as guests or just Kelly or Monty for an episode or two might help with growing the channel. I've mentioned y'all on Facebook. Yes, I know that we've got a few mentions on Facebook. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
It's really hard to get a guest in, like for a couple episodes, because the one thing is you don't know how long you're going to need that guest.
Yeah.
Because no matter how much you plan, things might end up different. You have to make sure that the guest is like semi-compatible. Even like if they're only going to be there for like 1 or 2 episodes, it's a little bit more okay. But if they're going to be like a good 10 episode thing, and then of course just having them on camera while we're streaming or while we're playing is a bit difficult. We've had people remote in before, and it makes it.
I think if we were going to do guest stuff, we would need to probably just go full digital for it.
Yeah.
Unless they're willing to make the trip out here.
Yep. I'd like to do like maybe we do the 5K as like a one shot with maybe see about getting some guests or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. We'll have to see. The sound is pretty good, I'd say, from season 1, episode 1. Yes.
Yeah, that was bad. So there's a little backstory behind that. So I, at that time, had zero experience doing audio recording. I have experience doing like audio system setup and like sound, listening to it. And so Preston took it on and started working on it, and we'll both admit that it got a little overproduced, and there was some extra stuff that got added in that ended up making it sound really weird.
Yeah.
And honestly, I should have redone it. When we went to the new channel, but we just didn't have time to re-record, or not re-record, but like
re-render
and fix it, because I keep all the raw audio files as well, just in case.
Yeah.
So I've gone through and we've made tweaks, and if you notice, like when you watch episode 2 and 3 and 4, like it all slightly changes. Obviously, it changed a lot from episode 1.
Yeah.
But it all starts to slightly change and get a little bit better each time.
And
that's just more me practicing.
Yeah.
And now I've kind of got it down to science where I can just kind of throw it in and do a couple changes, and then it's done.
Yep.
I don't have to do much else for it. So
just wait a few months. When I get back to working full time, I'll get you expensive gear. Anthony, I love you so much.
Do not have
please. That is fine. We are completely good. Like we will be getting.
Absolutely love the support, though.
Yes, yeah. He is going to end up being our sugar daddy patron, our magubulate.
Well, they call them angel investors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it online for the dudes. I agree. That if we're going to do anything with the Dungeon Dudes or like Tree and Monk or something, it'll have to be online. I would have to. I think I'd have to go watch more of their D&D content in order to get an idea of how they play. Just because they may not play the exact same way that my current group does, so I'd have to adapt. obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It would definitely be an adjustment. I know I need to go back and watch like the one that Colby did with Treant Monk and the dudes.
Yeah.
To see like everything there. I've got a lot that I need to do. So like watching other D&D YouTuber like D&D actual plays is
I have
very.
actually been listening to a couple podcasts where the D&D the people they actually describe this. They're like we play D&D online all the time, and I have so much to do on my own that I don't spend any time watching anyone else, even my friends' stuff, and I feel bad about it, but I can't. I don't have time to, and sometimes I feel the same way. We don't have a lot of time, especially with work and things like that. So.
I know y'all are real life friends or some such, but how much does it hurt the group not having Tori in the TOA games? Asked Brian. It's
rough.
It's rough. Yeah. It definitely is. Tori brought a really good energy to the game, and when she said that she had to bow out, I was personally devastated.
Yeah.
I did not like the idea of losing Tori, not just because of the energy, but she's just like a really good friend, and she's always just so like chipper and bright and everything.
I actually went to school with her.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it until about halfway through playing, and we were talking about something, and she mentioned when she graduated and where from, and I was like, what? That's the same year I graduated.
Yeah.
From the same place. And so we actually went to school together. And then, so she actually has become a really good friend of ours. We still talk to her, and we still keep in touch all the time. And in fact, we are planning on going out to lunch maybe next week.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk to...
we need to talk to her about that.
We need to talk to her about that, just to see.
And we're hoping that we can get her in on some one-shots and some side quests.
Yep.
She got really busy and had some family obligations and stuff, and so if we can get some singular things, we could probably get her back for a little bit.
Yep, it would be really nice. I know that I've been talking with her about a few different things that she's been reading through the recaps because I'm doing the recaps as Kilobik sending progress reports to Eve, since as you saw in episode 2, and it's sort of a way to bring the recap back to kind of have her there in spirit a little bit, and it's a great way to just kind of like give a concise like what happened before, and we were able to do a much better. In my opinion, a much better way to handle it, a much quicker way. Because the way that we did it before was like, we got everything recorded, we had to send it over to Preston. Preston had to process it through After Effects to do the little
render the whole thing,
do the little scroll that happens, and then send it back to us, and that took a long time. And that was one of the big reasons why we dropped the recaps, is just it was slowing down the ability for us to process and get the episodes out in a decent amount of time. So we got rid of them, but then the alternative, if people want to keep it, is to just switch over to what we ended up doing now, where we would just do the page turn things, and I think it's worked a lot better.
Yeah, I like it.
The Treant Monk Dungeon Dudes D4 was a good pair of episodes. Miss Tori stuff happens though. Family has to come first. Yeah, Tori had a lot of stuff going on. A lot of reasons that she needed to step away, and we just wanted to. Like, we were just, like, we're also, here.
Yeah,
if you ever want to come back, if you want to play. Scott invited her to the Atheris game if she ever got a time, because that was going to be a little bit more low stakes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was going to be less often. But we will pass along. We'll pass along your well wishes.
Yep.
We appreciate that.
I know she does too. I know she misses the game, too.
Yes.
When I've talked to her, she gets withdrawals for it, so she misses playing with the group, and she misses seeing all of your wonderful little comments. The recaps are so TOA. Your first I've seen doing it absolutely brilliant. Yeah, honestly, it wasn't my idea. It was Tori's. She was the one who came up with because she originally did the letters as her backstory, and then as like we were talking about it, I asked her if she wanted to do that as like recaps, additional letters to her mother, because I thought they were fantastic. Every letter I read, and you can actually go onto Discord and read through the ones that she sent to her mom as a recap, or as a bundle there too. The first ones before the game started. You can check that out in I think it's just the writing. What is it called? Lore and Stories? TOA Lore and Stories. Yeah. But yeah, I did too. I really liked the recaps, and I really thought that they added.
They just became a hassle, and all of us
and a time sink that we couldn't afford.
All of us have full-time jobs on the side.
But now, our new method doesn't take us long at all.
Yeah.
It just requires me to record, which honestly, I don't know how you guys can stand my voice for 4 hours, let alone, like every week here.
Look, I've had to put up with it for 32 years. I think I'm okay.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I listen back to like edit the recaps after I'm done, get rid of all the blocks in there and everything. And I'm always just so cringy the entire time. Just kind of like, I can't believe that.
No, Anthony, it's not Queen Tori, it's Accidental Queen of Filth.
Yes,
Tori.
we love our Accidental Queen of Filth. And we loved the stream. I thought it was fun.
It was very fun.
Yep, it was great. Can we get one more look at what you got done for our wonderful Gerard?
Purple
and
Worm.
The Purple Worm, yep. Got that all finished.
All finished. Besides the black base, always finish your bases with the black rim.
Please do.
Always. They look terrible without. And then here's Gerard. Gerard?
Gerard.
Gerard.
Gerard is the 3-fingered dragonborn that you took the money from.
Oh, yes.
Yes. He looks good. I love it. I like the beard.
A couple more details to do. Something like the barrel, the bands around the barrel, and the horn on the back.
Should do like a red wash in the gauntlet to get like a little bit of like a red glow inside the deeper runes. Yeah, and everything. And the recesses there.
Yeah.
I haven't played in almost a month, and I'm definitely having withdrawals. My 2 eldest sons asked me to bring the D&D stuff to the lake with us, so they will be running some arena stuff this weekend. Awesome.
D&D in the mountains just is awesome. It just sounds like a lot of fun. Yep. And
I know that the rest of the group, we couldn't go because we had no money and no PTO at the time. Yeah. And so they went up and they rented up a cabin, and they did they finished up Tori's campaign that she was running. She was running Storm King's Thunder for him, and they got to finish that up, and that's love that kind of stuff.
Oh, Tori absolutely does have a character in the world. It's Eve.
Yep.
Yeah, and I have a feeling Eve will live on a lot longer than an average half elf would. Even though they live forever. Yeah, no, they live like 150 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be a lot longer than
she is the voice of the wilds.
Exactly. She's all infused with the trio's power. So
but thank you everybody for joining. We
Sorry
really
for
appreciate
the late start, early weirdness, but hopefully next time it's a little better.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get Preston in for an art stream, or we'll just do another one of these.
Yeah.
No worries either way. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for all the wonderful donations in chat. We couldn't do this without you guys.
Yeah.
We honestly would just be sitting here talking to each other about nothing, which is what we do anyway.
Which is what we do anyway. We just decided to throw a camera up and a microphone.
And we might as well just be streaming Critical Role while we paint, at this point, if that were the case. But, which might get us a few more views.
No, don't crib on that.
No. But thank you for joining. We'll see you next Wednesday for session 3, in which the party exits the Forest of Harmony and finds themselves one step closer to their goals. I'm not going to spoil too much, but let's just say that there's some cool shit coming. I'll just say that much.
Well, good night, everyone. Brian, Anthony,
Joe,
everyone, Casey,
Bosco. Even though you're watching this on the VOD,
you'll see it later.
And anybody else that's watching on the VOD, make sure you leave a comment and a like, and let us know if you have any opinions. You don't have to,
but we appreciate it.
What's your favorite race?
Yeah.
What's your least favorite race? Fantasy races. Please do not start any flame wars in the comments. I do not want to see that kind of shit.
All right.
Good night, everybody.